I'm KathyBean, and I'm here with my granddaughter Lainey working the camera, and I send greetings to all my KOG family. I was asked to prepare this midweek devotional on how I serve. I balked at first, but my Wednesday night small group convinced me to do it, so blame them if this goes badly. We were asked to have a Bible verse as a basis. I chose Psalm 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. So you're probably asking yourself, what does that have to do with serving? Good question. But let me tell you my story about how that verse came into and affected my life. I need to go back a ways before that verse came into my life. I was being busy, wife, mother of 2 daughters, and a teacher at math teacher at Red Oak High School. I was a math department chair, active in the PTAs at my daughter's school, and was even doing a year as PTA president and then council president. I taught Sunday school to 4th through 6th graders at our church in Lancaster, ran the VBS, directed Christmas pageants, and even served as financial secretary to the church council. Wow, that sounds impressive put like that, but it took its toll. I developed ulcerative colitis, and in 1997 had to have an ileostomy. Entire large intestines was removed, and an internal Koch's pouch created. After both girls graduated from high school, Bob and I decided to move back to Dallas. I took a job at Jesuit Dallas, an all-boys Catholic high school, in 2000. That is where my story changed. In the summer after my first year there, I was assigned a prayer mentor, Sally Metzger, the theology teacher. It was in her office that I first saw Psalm 46:10, framed on a shelf. It came just at the right moment. I was adjusting to a different kind of life after the surgery, which was followed by a couple more later. Thus, this verse and my health convinced me to look at service differently. Before, I thought the busier the better, trying to do everything. Now I felt it was okay, even advisable, to be still and to let God have the steering wheel, which for a control freak like myself is still a constant battle. So how do I serve these days? First as Sunday school teacher, but it was Pastor Steve Sylvester who asked me and convinced me that I could teach adults, a new experience for me. Fortunately, I did not know that an SMU theology professor was in my first class at KOG. At Jesuit, I was asked by a fellow teacher, Keith Reese, to staff a Kairos retreat for the seniors, which required me to give a life raft talk to all the retreatants, not something I was comfortable doing. After my first Kairos retreat, you couldn't stop me. I was hooked. So years of Kairos retreats later, when Molly and John Harris asked me to go to a Via de Cristo retreat, I said, sure, I can do that. After my first Via de Cristo retreat, you couldn't stop me. I was hooked. My latest service foray is Stephen's Ministers. I hope you've noticed a pattern with my service, being asked. However, to become a Stephen's minister, no one asked. At least no one alive. I chose to train to be a Stephen's minister because of my mother-in-law, Amy Jean Bean, who died in 2012. Late in her life, she became a Stephen's minister. I thought I was too much of an extrovert, a talker, to be a Stephen's minister. But if Amy Jean, who could out-talk me, could do it, then so could I. All of these ways that I serve have brought me great joy, and I cherish the time I spend on each of them. But I credit Psalm 46:10. I was still enough to hear other people in my life if you are so busy moving all the time, it is difficult to feel the Spirit's push or pull, or hear his voice through others. So, be still and know that I am God.